Okay, here we go again. So I know that there's only like about 30 of you watching this, but that's okay. I don't care. It's just as much for me as it is for you. Um, Today, I think I'm going to go backwards a little bit to the actual diagnosis part and what that kind of felt like. There's going to be some people that understand my metaphor when I talk about this athletic metaphor, but when I finished my Ironman, for instance, I was almost deflated in a way because you train for almost an entire year and you actually complete it, and you expect there to be these dancing ladies and jugglers and people like with fireworks and signs with your name on them, and not all you get, but the gentleman says your name, and if you're in a group of people, you're lucky if you hear it, and then you get a medal and a shirt, and then you're standing in a crowd of people trying to find your family, and there's almost this like deflation that really that's it, like there must be more. I did so much work, and I need more validation. So when I officially got diagnosed with SPS, or the diagnosis was at least on the table, and I kind of felt in my gut that this is really what it was almost the opposite of that, because there's this validation that, okay, well, I haven't been crazy for the last 3 or 4 years. There really has been something going on with my body, and there's a name for it. While it's 1 in a million and rare, and we haven't 100% called it a spade yet at the time, it was tangible and touchable and real. So it was kind of the reverse of that, but then at the same time comes the reality that, okay, shit really is happening to me, and it's going to keep happening to me because this is a declining autoimmune disease that doesn't go away on its own or get better on its own, and these are things that I'm going to have to look forward to, if you will, yay, in the future, or things that I'm going to have to look out for or watch out for. So it was kind of an interesting balance. And then, of course, you start looking at research. And unfortunately, with SPS, there's not a whole lot out there to really go off of. So that was hard too, because you read an article maybe about somebody who had lung spasm so bad she punctured her lung and passed away, and you're like, well, that's not the kind of information that I want to read. I want to read positive information that tells me, keep working your muscles, keep using your muscles, keep doing as much as you can do for your body. And that's what agreement, I guess, that my doctor and I have come to now, is that doing as much as I can and staying as active as I can is only helping me. The Botox is only helping me stay as active as I can stay. Obviously, I have down points, days when I'm accessed that I can't do anything but walk. But when I am not accessed, I can try to do yoga, which is getting a little trickier now that I can't see. I can still ride the recumbent bike. I can still walk around the neighborhood if someone walks with me. Hopefully walk around the neighborhood if I get a seeing eye dog in the future. I can still ride the treadmill. We're coming up with different ways to label everything so that I can know where the on and off buttons are. But the other piece that came along with finding out what was really wrong, for me, was a very emotional piece to come home to. The reality from my husband, I think, had to sink in with him. A lot of people around us didn't understand. We didn't really tell a lot of people specifically what was going on because, again, being part of a community, you don't want the community to think that you can't function and do your job the way that you're supposed to, and I didn't want a stigmatism to be attached to me and or to my children. We're going to get to my kids a little bit more. I'm going to touch on one thing with my daughter real quick, but there's a lot more coming with the kids. But the first thing that I really sat down and did with my daughter, who was 12 at the time, and my son, I felt like he was too young. But that stupid book, 13 Reasons Why, had just come out, or it had been out for a couple years, and there were rumors that it was going to be on the mandatory reading list. So, and I had read the book at the suggestion of my mother-in-law so that I could then read it with Lily. It never went on the mandatory reading list, and I told Lily that I was glad because I wasn't a fan of the book. I apologize. No offense. But I did sit down with Lily, and again, I'm going to use it as a reference here. We watched a video by Rascal Flatts called Why. And it talks about why you would, it's about suicide. And the song itself says, why would you end your life in the middle of your song? And we're all, except for me, my entire family is very musically inclined. So it felt like a good song reference to use so that they really kind of had a comparison of, I also often use the example that their lives are like chapters. And each chapter, each day is one page in a chapter. That's 365 days of year one. So now my daughter is about to turn 15 and has 15 chapters of 365 pages. So if she has a hard day, we just try to compare it and look at it like that. Like, this is just one day. One day. Tomorrow will be better. But we sat down and we listened to the lyrics of that song in a format where they just put the lyrics up on the screen. And I made a promise to her that no matter how frustrated Mommy got with everything that was going on, and no matter how many times she might inadvertently catch me crying in the shower or having a frustrated moment, that I would never do that. That, in my opinion, that is the chicken shit way out. And I, again, apologize to anybody that's potentially maybe ever thought about it, but to me, it is unacceptable to leave people behind wondering what they could have done differently, how they could have helped you in a different way that would have prevented you from having done that. And I just don't believe in that. So I made a promise to her that that would never happen, that I would never end my life in the middle of my song, because I still had lyrics to share with the world. So I guess that's about all I have for today in regards to kind of the way it felt to be diagnosed, and the first tough conversation that I had to have with my daughter. We have had several since. So basically, I guess I just want to end that. I hope people are enjoying these videos. I'm enjoying getting some of this stuff off my chest, and remember that there's a song for everybody. Music is a very powerful thing that I enjoy very much, and I have lots of musical references that I'm going to be using in the future for when I was hospitalized and other such things. So just remember to keep moving, keep staying positive, and keep having conversations even if they're tough, because your family is your support system. And I will say without a doubt that the 3 people that I live with and my extended family have been nothing short of a miracle. And I would not be here today without them. So go give your family member a hug.